Yeah, good morning, Steve and Karen. Great to be on the show. Maybe let me start by saying that we have proven again in 2024 that our integrated business model is very resilient to different changes. You have already pointed out somewhat lower results in energy and fuels were compensated by chemicals. We increased chemical sales volumes by 10%, and we were actually able to increase earnings from that segment significantly. All that resulted that our operating cash flow for the full year 2024, excluding net working capital effects, was 5.3 billion, 14% higher than the year before. So we demonstrated cash flow capability at OMV also in difficult market circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tricky, though, isn't it, to know where to grow the business at the moment, isn't it, when you've got so much going on globally? You've got the EU, where we're waiting for a new strategy. We've got this horrendous war, which is obviously dictating a little bit about what one does in terms of expansion to the east and how one treats Russia going forward as well. Alfred, just tell us how you're making your medium to longer term capital decisions.
Yeah, I think capital discipline and having a focused strategy is very important. OMV, we continue to run a responsible transformation, meaning that we feel a responsibility to be a secure, safe supplier of energy of today, but invest into the future, into some future technologies. That needs to be done in a way that we can keep up the cash flows, and so far we have done pretty well. So we are also making progress in our strategy. We have started last year our deep joint venture with the first geothermal well to heat Vienna with geothermal heat instead of gas. We have finished building our ReOil chemical recycling plant to make plastics out of plastic waste rather than oil. And we have also made significant steps forward with our sustainable aviation fuels, where we announced a final investment decision for our first plant in Romania.
Alfred, talk to us about Russia. Absolutely pivotal about the less demand that Europe takes from Russian product, then hopefully that will end the war quicker because there'll be less revenues for the Russians as well. You've got some interesting news on how much Russian oil and Russian product, I should say, you are using.
Yeah, so OMV has not used Russian oil since 2022 because that was under sanctions. But this was really about the gas. As you know, we had very long-term contracts with Russia, and the last 60 years we received supplies from Russia of gas, in particular to Austria, but also to our other European customers. Now, after 3 years of very hard work, I can say that we are opening a new chapter for OMV. At this point, we have no longer any business relationships with Russia because in the end of 2024, we terminated the Russian gas supply contract. That was after multiple and severe violations of our contracts by Gazprom. The great thing was that we were also awarded by an arbitrational court damages of over 230 million, which we also offset against open payments.
Alfred, it's Karen jumping in. I want to ask you about tariffs because we've seen commodities impacted by Trump tariffs so far, whether it's directly thanks to tariffs imposed on the product or distortions in the market, or what could be an impact to global growth if the tariffs remain in force. What impact are you expecting on your business?
Yeah, at the moment, it's a rather volatile situation, I would say, with things changing overnight and things really shaping up as we go. I would expect that we see here in OMV that a lot of our production is actually also for local consumptions. We have activities in the US, mainly in our chemical business with our Baystar joint venture and some smaller compounding facilities. And we have activities here in Europe. Now, the trade barriers, we will see how those shape up. But in general, I would say as OMV, we are a global company. We are very international, and we are fully supportive of free trade because we believe that optimizes the global economy.